Welcome to the Savings Angel Show. I'm Josh Elledge, the Chief Executive Angel at savingsangel.com, podcasting rain or shine from Orlando, Florida. I'm an extremely busy consumer expert, money-saving advocate, syndicated newspaper columnist, and the guy that turns digital entrepreneurs into media celebrities at upmyinfluence.com. I love what I do, and I can't wait to get going on today's episode. Now, in order to help you save more, earn more, and live more abundantly on today's show, I'll be covering 4 ways to save money on wedding gifts, tips on mindful spending with Julia and Philip Olson of 2 Cents, and the powerful benefits of in-store shopping. You ready to save more? So let's get started. Hey, before we get going on today's show, I want to introduce you to a new podcast that I'm involved in. You're going to hear me do the intro and outro, and it's for my other company, upmyinfluence.com. And what we do over there is we turn thoughtful entrepreneurs into media celebrities. I've been so blessed to be able to appear in the media over 2,000 times. And meanwhile, I know that there are so many good moms and dads and men and women who are business owners, and they're doing everything they can to serve others. And the thing that they may be missing is exposure. And so one thing that we're committed to over at Up My Influence is helping all people create a positive impact in the world. And so we started this podcast, and again, it's called The Thoughtful Entrepreneur. And if you could, do a search for it right now in your podcast player. Again, you'll hear me do the intro and outro, and you'll hear Jennifer Longworth, who is actually the editor. She has been my podcasting compadre for years now. She's the one that does all the work on this Savings Angel Show podcast. And so we're so excited that she now is she has her voice, she has her own voice, and she's able to talk with really, really great business owners, and you get to hear their real story. We keep the podcast really short, generally about 15 minutes or so. So it's really, really great to hear real stories from real business owners, all about, what it's like to be in business with your spouse, how they're growing and scaling their business, kind of the impact that they have on the world as well. So again, please search for that right now. I would be honored if you'd consider giving it a listen or two. And of course, subscribing to that if you like what you hear. But again, it's called The Thoughtful Entrepreneur. And again, I'm just so proud of the work that we're doing over there to help good business owners create a bigger impact in the world. So if you're ready to get going with the Savings Angel Show, let's get started with 4 ways to save money on wedding gifts. Now, it's an honor to be invited to a wedding, and it can be a lot of fun picking out the perfect gift for a newlywed couple, but many of the traditional wedding gifts can be expensive. You may not have a big enough budget to buy an expensive gift, especially if you're attending multiple weddings in a short time span. Now, thankfully, you can save money while still getting a thoughtful gift for the happy couple. So, here are 4 ways to save money on wedding gifts without looking like a cheapskate. Number 1, shop early. As soon as you get the wedding invitation or the save the date announcement, start searching for the perfect gift, especially if you're planning on buying a gift from the couple's wedding registry. Now, most couples register for a wide variety of items with varying price points. Now, if you wait to buy your gift, all of the inexpensive items on the registry may be snatched up by other guests. By shopping early, you can find a gift on the couple's registry that fits within your budget, and they'll love it because they specifically asked for it. Now, if you're not shopping from a registry, it can still help to start looking for a gift as soon as possible. Now, this allows you to take advantage of sales and other promotions so you can get a fabulous gift for a fraction of its normal price. Number 2, give a group gift. Now, if you really want to give a nice, expensive gift to a newlywed couple, find other wedding guests to go in on it with you. Group gifts work best when the givers all know each other very well, so don't choose random wedding gifts. That's not going to turn out very well. Your good friends and close family members are the best options. After you decide on which gift you want to buy together, divide up the cost evenly between all the givers so you know how much you each owe. Now, you can have one person buy the gift, then have everyone else in the group reimburse him or her for their portion of the cost. Or each person in the group can buy a gift card to the same store, and one person can collect the gift cards and use those to buy the gift. Now, if you want to save even more money, you can earn free gift cards with swag bucks by taking surveys, watching videos, searching the web, and more. Now, just use your gift card rewards to pitch in to the group gift. Number 3, use the registry as inspiration. Now, if you look at the wedding registry and there's nothing on it that fits within your price range, and this can happen, you just have to get a little bit more creative. Use the registry as inspiration, then buy an item not on the registry at all. Now, the registry will give you a good idea of the colors and styles the couple likes, as well as telling you what types of things they need. Now, if they register for a lot of kitchen items, think of a kitchen item that you use all the time that they might not have thought to register for. If most of the requested items follow the same color scheme, look for a small decorative object using those same colors. If you're worried about them not liking the item you choose, you can always include a gift receipt so they can exchange it or return it. Number 4, give homemade or personalized items. Now, homemade or personalized items are sometimes even better appreciated than the gifts a couple registers for. If you're particularly skilled at crafting, you can make something for the couple that they will use and cherish for years, such as a quilt or a Christmas ornament. However, if you're not very artistic, don't worry, you're in good company. You still have options. Purchase an inexpensive but nice quality object, such as a picture frame, and have it personalized by someone else. Some great personalization options include the names of the bride and groom and the date of the wedding. Etching and painting are both great options. This turns the gift into a meaningful keepsake in addition to it being useful. And look, being a great gift giver, doesn't that make you feel abundant? And feeling abundant is part of living abundantly. Now, when spending your hard-earned money, it's important to understand the difference between essential items and luxuries. That's why I've invited Julia and Philip Olson from 2 Cents, and they've partnered with PBS online, and they have a really great program. You can find their programs on Facebook, in fact. And so I'm so excited to bring Julia and Philip Olson from 2 Cents on the show. All right, and I'd like to welcome Julia and Philip Olson, who are the hosts of 2 Cents, which appears on PBS Digital and also Facebook Watch. And so I came across this probably just because I'm interested in consumer stuff. And so Facebook suggested it to me, and I started watching your videos, and they are the cutest, most well done personal finance little series, little TV shows that TV episodes that you've created, and I absolutely love them. And I want to make sure that I shared this amazing find with my audience. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Can you tell us what 2 Cents is?
Sure. So 2 Cents is a PBS digital show, short form. So they're usually around like 4 to 6 minutes in length. And it's where we cover topics having to do with personal finance and even economics sometimes. So really about introducing people to, trying to up people's financial literacy in an approachable way.
Well, and they're so well done. How are you these are so great. Like, I'm so envious. Like, I love what you guys are creating. It's so beautiful and so fun. Like, how do you produce these videos?
Well, we have a super talented couple of friends that are sort of the behind the scenes on the show, named Katie and Andrew, who are also a married couple. And so they're kind of a team that help us film it with really high quality cameras and sound equipment. Andrew animates and edits each episode himself, and they just do they make us look really good.
They're professional filmmakers, so they know what they're doing. They're kind of like South by Southwest darlings. They've had some really big films of their own that have been picked up by larger distribution companies. So we're really lucky that we're with other people who know what they're doing.
And you guys, Julie and Philip, have a background in theater, and it shows. You're really fun to watch. You've got great energy, just so perfect. And so could you kind of talk about some of the topics that you've covered in 2 Cents so far?
Yeah, so we try to cover topics that people have either wondered about or might not be on their radar, but probably should. So our first episode, we titled How Cars Can Keep You Poor. And we discussed the dangers of depreciation and interest and kind of what the difference between a used car and a new car can cost you over a lifetime. We explore an episode about getting out of debt, because that's something a lot of folks our age are thinking about and worried about, and the kind of most effective way to do that according to behavioral science and behavioral psychology. And then we just had one come out last week that's about sort of on-demand services like Uber and Lyft and Instacart and TaskRabbit. And when using those services is a luxury, and when using those can actually be a form of leverage to help you make better use of your time or get more done.
Yeah, and then coming up in the future, because we have signed an ongoing agreement, which we were really excited about with PBS, we're going to talk about mutual funds, like what the heck those are.
How much does having a baby cost?
Yes.
just kind of more accessible everyday financial questions.
That's great. So if you don't mind, like I'd love to talk about particularly the on-demand services. Can you tell me or share kind of what you discovered or kind of what conclusion you came to in that video? And we don't have to spoil everything. I mean, you can right now, you can watch it and we should tell people like how they can find the videos. If in one, I'd say the easiest way, at least the way I find it, is if in Facebook, you just search for the words 2 cents PBS, and you'll find it. It'll come right up. And then, of course, you can subscribe, and I'll have you explain how Facebook Watch works in just a little bit as well. But I'd love for you to share kind of what you found with all these on-demand services.
Yeah, so these apps and these services are just exploding, right?
Yeah.
You just hear about, this is the Uber for ... all the time. And it's just, I mean, it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. And we were sort of, wondering how that affects your overall economy and, is it a good idea to use these or not?
Yeah.
Now, these services have really exploded in the last probably 5-6 years. What we kind of broke it down to was a question of, is this sort of service leverage or luxury?
Yeah, because I think this was prompted because, in our day-to-day life, we run a financial planning firm, and I'm looking at people's budgets, every day, literally, what are they spending their money on? And I found out myself having these conversations with couples and individuals, who are really trying to kind of get their spending on track. And they had a lot of these services in their life and trying to explain, like, when does it make financial sense to take advantage of these and when does it not? So I think that was kind of prompted from those sort of real world examples.
Yeah. So for example, like Instacart, what did you find out with Instacart?
Well, we found a couple of interesting things. One of them is that the way that fees are treated in these services may not be super obvious. So with Instacart, for example, you do pay a delivery fee. I think it was maybe $5 or $6. Not terribly much, but one kind of source we cited actually broke down the costs of what the goods bought would cost if you went to the store compared to if it brought you an Instacart. And it was basically a double the difference.
Yeah.
It was between like $70 and $160, something like that. Very, very subtle markups of everything that you don't necessarily notice that increases the cost quite a bit. And so
what, you mean Instacart, you're paying more per product, per item?
Yeah, they have kind of a hidden built-in sort of premium on the prices that is not disclosed anywhere.
Yeah. And it totally depends. Like, it isn't just like a flat.
It depends what you buy. Yes. It depends where you are. And so somebody actually broke down. You'd have to do a good amount of legwork to figure this out, because you'd have to go buy those things all on your own.
In order to see the difference. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah.
We didn't either until we started researching this.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things, like I like the idea of people ordering ahead of time and shopping on their computer, because then they're less prone to impulse purchases. Yeah. However, I am not a big fan of these hidden, or I shouldn't say hidden, they're just tricky fees that are tacked on.
Yeah, we have a whole episode on shopping at the grocery store, and something that's a very big factor of that is the impulse buying is kind of the biggest battle when you go. The way everything's placed and the colors and the sounds in the grocery store are designed to make you spend more. So we hope we can avoid that by going to Instacart, and they get you there too.
Yeah, and at this service is pretty new, so we weren't able to find a study that would compare the two. Whether it's better to do it this way or, subject yourself to impulse buys going in. So we don't really have hard facts on that at this point. But
our takeaway was really to just be mindful and not take for granted that it's it's necessarily as straightforward as it seems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you have the ability to make extra money, like either by working overtime or by, working on your side hustle, it like literally instead of going to the market, then sometimes it can make sense. But for most people, I think, who are utilizing those services, that isn't really how they think about it.
I think some folks can. Like, so for us, we have, I love to use TaskRabbit to have kind of a handy person come out and do handiwork. Although I could do that, I'm not very fast or very good at it. And I would have to probably take some time off of work to do these big projects. And so when I compare the cost for a TaskRabbit service to what I make at work, it actually leverage is more efficient for me to not do that stuff than to do it on my own.
Boy, I feel like such a noob here, but I actually have not ever used TaskRabbit. And I actually just had, we have a plumber that we've used for other tasks. And I thought, well, look, I know how to change out the gasket in the toilet. Like I could do everything in a toilet, but I'm like, you know what? It's just, I'm so busy with work right now. I'm just going to pay and have him do it. And I was thinking, well, it's probably going to be $30 because it would probably take me about 45 minutes or something like that. And it ended up, he wanted to charge me $60. And I'm like, what? And I was kind of surprised with that. But I'm like, that might be a perfect job to look up on TaskRabbit to see if I could get it done for less.
Yeah. So all the different people that you can use have different rates depending on how skilled they are and how good reviews they have. What cracked me up is the number one service that TaskRabbit people are hired for is to assemble IKEA furniture for you. So, I mean, it's just, I've spent many a frustrated hour assembling IKEA furniture.
And definitely, and I feel like, utilizing these kinds of services, even though they're very easy to sign up for and to take advantage of, I think we need to remember that these are luxuries. I mean, being able to outsource labor for your everyday chores is a luxury, to be able to do that. And so to keep that in mind in the larger context of where you are in your finances, like if you're struggling with debt and you've got some big goal that you're trying to achieve, putting this and engaging with this in context of that, I think is an important conversation to have, and not just say, well, it's saving me time, therefore it's saving me money. Like that's not true.
I love it. Julie and Philip, explain what Facebook Watch is.
Yeah, so it's new. We didn't know what it was a year ago
either.
So Facebook obviously has videos in it all the time, but they're usually coming from an outside source like YouTube. And so Facebook decided to launch their own kind of version of that
their own platform
last fall. And all the content is kind of professionally produced, curated content. So you can't just have a Facebook Watch channel because you want to start it yourself. It's going to be through a major kind of distribution company like PBS. And so when we launched the show, we had the choice of debuting on YouTube or on Facebook Watch. And because our show, we wanted to kind of build a community and for folks to share advice and kind of interact with each other, we thought Facebook Watch would be the better fit.
In a generally more positive environment, believe it or not.
It's a little more friendly than YouTube.
Yes. Yeah. So we decided to give that a try, and we've been really happy with it so far.
Yeah. Well, Julie and Philip, I'm really excited for the work that you're doing. Thank you for fighting the good fight and doing it in such a fun and entertaining way. Are any of these, do you think any of these videos, gosh, because the animation is so cute, are you doing topics that would be geared more toward a younger audience?
Yeah, our idea was for it to kind of be for the 20s and 30s age, although lots of people older than that have definitely loved it.
Yeah.
We kind of feel, especially recently out of college or early into adulthood, there's a sense of like, I never was taught this stuff. I never learned this stuff in school. And so I would say that's kind of our main target, but people of all ages have engaged with us.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the visual aspect of it is super important because a lot of what we're talking about, especially in the financial world, can seem very vague and hard to grasp, but putting it in a visual context that's like bright and cheery, not just like a bunch of ugly gray graphs, I think makes a much bigger impact.
Finance can be so dry. And so we're talking, let's talk about depreciation with melting ice cream cones, and let's describe mutual like a bowl of salad. And it's just, hopefully it sticks in people's brains.
Yeah, that's what we hope.
Well, I love it. Well, guys, thank you so much. Again, the show is called 2 Cents, and you can find it on Facebook Watch. And that's how it's distributed through your affiliation with PBS as well. Is that correct?
And we did get a lot of asks, especially from teachers who want to show this content in the classroom but can't access Facebook. And so for those people, if you do look, just go to pbs.org and just search for us. Just search for 2 Cents. You can find the videos there as well.
I love it. All right. Philip and Julia Olson with 2 Cents. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, if you haven't watched the 2 Cents videos yet, they're super cute. Go watch them. You're going to fall in love with Julia and Philip. They're fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Super fun. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much to Julia and Philip Olson from 2 Cents. I love those guys. I loved my conversation with them, and I love the work that they're doing. Now, paying attention to where and how you spend your money can help you live more abundantly. That's why I want to talk about the powerful benefits of in-store shopping. Now, online shopping is one of the great conveniences of our modern day. With a few clicks, you can get practically anything you need delivered to your door without ever having to leave the comfort of your home. Now, while online shopping definitely has its place, in-store shopping has some distinct advantages that may make you think twice before you order something online. Now, here are 6 benefits of shopping in-store. Number 1, no shipping costs. Now, shipping costs can add up quickly, turning a once reasonably priced item into a budget buster. Now, this is especially true with heavy, large, or odd-shaped items. Picking up the items you need from the store in person saves you those high shipping prices. Now, to save on gas, try lumping all of your errands together and make a comprehensive shopping list. Now, see, this way, you won't have to go back to the store a bunch of times, because that stinks, and your shipping savings won't get eaten up at the gas pump. Number 2, you know exactly what you're getting. Have you ever ordered an item online only to realize it's not what you expected? Now, when you shop in person, you can see the items more clearly. You can also handle them to get a better idea of the quality. Seeing an item in person rather than in a photograph online allows you to be sure of the size, shape, and color of the item you're buying. This means less buyer's remorse and no hassle with trying to return an item that wasn't what you expected. Number 3, fewer impulsive purchases. Online shopping is so easy that you may not think twice about buying certain items, even if you don't really need them. Now, in addition to this, checking out of a virtual store may not seem as real as physically handing a cashier your debit card or cash, which can lead to overspending. Now, by shopping in person, you take a longer time with choosing the product, walking it over to the register, and paying for it. During this long process, you may decide that you don't actually need that item after all. You'll not only save money this way, but also save your home from unnecessary clutter. I actually just went through this by considering replacing our grill. By the time I went to the store and started looking at them, I just had more time to think about it and be less impulsive. And by the time I looked at them and I realized, well, the one I want is really not in my budget today, I just decided, you know what? I'm cool. I can wait for another year before I replace my grill. Number 4, you don't have to wait for your purchase to arrive. While the process of purchasing items online is easy, waiting for the items to arrive can be inconvenient, especially if it's an item you need urgently. Now, some online stores offer fast shipping, but this often costs extra money. And when you shop in-store and in person, you receive your items immediately, so you can use them right away. Now, this is perfect when you have a tight deadline, but it's also great if you're just excited to use your new purchase. Number 5, get out in your community and build relationships. Now, when you can do practically all of your errands online, you may not have many opportunities to get out of the house. If you're not careful, you can start to feel isolated from your community. Now, by going out and shopping in stores, you gain valuable interaction with other people. You also have a chance to support local businesses and build relationships with the people who live and work in your community. I love this. I meet so many people in my local area at stores. I love stopping and chatting, blah, blah, blah. Now, this can also lead to further opportunities to socialize with others and render service as well. Finally, number 6, you do help out the local economy. Now, when shopping online, your money goes far away from your home community, and it may even go to another country. Now, by shopping in-store, you give a tremendous boost to your local economy and help build job opportunities for your neighbors. So there you go. Those are the 6 powerful benefits of in-store shopping. I hope you got some good insight on this and some ways that you can shop a little smarter and enjoy the process as well. And saving money and enjoying the process is certainly part of living abundantly. Now, if you've loved hearing everything on this podcast, would you take a minute to leave a 5-star review in iTunes? By doing so, you help us get this podcast out to more people. The higher our rating, the more we're noticed. I can't do this without you. As always, if you have any specific questions or if there's something you'd like to hear me talk about, you could drop me a comment in the podcast feedback, write me on our Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group. Just search for Savings Angel. Come and join us. You're going to like these people. We love saving money. We love living abundantly. We love sharing great shopping and spending tips and techniques to help us all live more abundantly. And you can also call my podcast hotline. Give me a call right now. It's 407-205-9250 and leave me a message. I'll answer your question, write you back, or with your permission, I might even share your question or story with others on this show. With that, have a wonderful week full of saving more, earning more, and living more abundantly. And thank you for listening. Yeah, it's called The Thoughtful Entrepreneur.